got first before we do it?
I didn't do 22 yet, but
We'll do it. Yeah.
I'll do it before right now.
Sammy, I think, grabbed it. So you can do it and see if you got the right answer, though. He's about to do it on the board now.
Yeah.
So for the people watching the recording, if anybody watches it, we missed the first few problems, but they were really super easy equations. So now I think we're on number 22 on page 87. Somebody's coming up to the board to solve it. So, oh, that was, what number was that? 21? So there was 21, those of you watching the recording. On fire? On fire? I think you should go up there. You better hurry before we get in. You better hurry before we get into really tough ones. I make you. You better pick an easy one. To go up there and do. Then we'll make Edgar and Piper. Did you hear what I said? Yeah, but you didn't hear your name because it was in there with his name.
We do it totally.
We're gonna do a team competition. These two are gonna go up and do one, and then you're gonna go up and do team. Because the soul hunt have this.
Mr. Gill.
No, leave that there. That's how this moves when I put my leg up. It doesn't put chairs there. There's a chair right there.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Do you want to put it into adjustment or can I
That's
just?
a great question.
Can I just leave it out of the box?
That's one.
No, what do you think?
Leave it out of the box.
So let's talk about something that Sammy just asked.
But it's still game.
That's why I like listening to you two right there. So when you get fractions,
Oh, yeah.
I think, and I haven't taken an SAT or ACT in a long time, but I have taken some math certification tests, which are made by the same sort of entities. I think they normally leave it in fractions. I don't think they ever convert stuff into decimals unless there is a decimal in the problem. And there was no decimal in the problem, so I would say just leave it as a fraction.
Did I get it right?
So that, I don't know. -3/7, is that what you guys got? Oh, they're getting plus, so let's go back. Plus 2x, 7, subtract.
Oh, I didn't gonna put.
Yeah, I don't know. Why did you do that? Yeah, there's no negative on the 7. That's funny. You just accidentally did that. So yeah, +3/7 for 22, right? All right, so now let's see who's really brave. This is where I normally give out food and candy.
I'm Brad. Sounds
Do it. Oh, got one? Which one did you want? All right, so she's doing 25, so you can have 23. Oh, you are? Oh, okay, they said 23 then, sorry.
Okay, you wanted 23.
No, they need to do, you did one. No, yeah, oh, yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it. No, yeah. Who said 25 over here? You two can, why don't you both go up? They're gonna do 23, and then if nobody wants 24.
I don't want to embarrass myself.
I'll look at it real quick. Yeah, if you want to show it to me first, I'm fine with that. I never said I wouldn't look at it.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, actually, that's actually.
Go ahead, let's solve it, Logan.
You think that? I did it right?
Shut
Wait a minute.
Oh, get up though.
Go.
I mean, I'll do mine before them.
Nah, you too.
If they're not ready, I'll do it before them.
No.
I'll look at
I'll
it.
look at it.
Logan said y'all look.
Logan just says you don't need help. Logan says you guys don't need.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Logan
Let's see what you got.
is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I like, it's gonna help.
He came in and he told me 10, but it was 30. He told me
It was
10.
at least 30
You
minutes.
better get it right too.
At least. No, I didn't that's spot teach him this. I taught him like the
This
line
just,
thing.
this
That
was
way.
just,
Park is gonna be.
Oh, that, okay, yeah.
9.
Where's my partner? I don't even know the question.
Oh, there's the problem.
Problems. What, 23?
Yeah.
4y. Okay, what did I do wrong?
For what?
4y.
Oh, I thought you were combining these and coming up with that, but you're.
Or what?
I see.
Yeah.
You're
Plus
doing
two?
it different. That plus that.
Minus 5y.
Negative.
Plus 1x
Drop
0
out.
equals 7 minus 6y.
Okay, that's not the way we did it.
That's so 6y. That's how am I not getting comprehensive?
Feel like Maybe
I'm not even, no, fucking, where you at?
something else I've been wondering. So yeah.
Is it correct?
Go ahead, Logan.
Hey, dog, where my partner at?
No, I don't give no beat.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. I mean,
That, what do you do?
Might be wrong, but I'm gonna use it.
Your own head.
yeah, paper.
It actually is my favorite.
Yeah, I was thinking it. It's okay, because I
Now,
don't know.
what did you do with it?
Oh, you don't know.
You have it written.
They keep problems. That's the problem.
This ain't making no sense.
Yeah, and now you said
So
you got
what
it.
happened? You know, down the answer.
Said you got it.
Because he doesn't understand what he's doing, he's just writing down how I solved it.
No, it is. It's a good case reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good case
Okay.
reference.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was a. That was wrong. Okay, I see, but it would. Well, no. Oh, yeah. What did you do? You know, you're confusing me, friend.
What'd you do?
So that was right. The step is correct.
Negative
You
two?
gotta combine it.
But well, how'd you get like Negative two. How'd you get it? You can't eat that.
It's right though, it's right though, I just checked it right.
I think I wrote down the question wrong.
On one, otherwise on one side, and all none on the other side.
Oh.
You don't even know. You don't even know. You know.
Why?
Still gonna be a hit like that. Is that what you got?
Look what I got.
You got one.
I got right.
Just do it in the best of book.
No, I did not.
Come on.
I don't even got a book.
Switch, so you have all bars on one side and then you have all the regular on one side. Yep, and then -2, -2. That would cancel out the 2 there. And then that would be 1.
How are you?
And then 1 plus 4, that'd be 5.
So much differently how we do it. So hold on. So you're saying this plus 6 is added to 6 here, right?
And 4y left, making that 5y.
5y there. That's good.
That would just be 1.
So how did you get? She got.
Oh, because I did.
Oh, so yeah, so that would be. Yeah, so you got it. No, you got it right. I'll take it.
No,
I'll say it. She added it wrong. You got it all. So correct all that. You can go up and do that one. Oh, you already wrote it up. All right, so.
You did it.
Hey, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do the, you probably know this. I'm gonna go back to the instant replay of on the challenge. I'm gonna go back to the challenge replay and we'll see who really did it.
I did.
Cause I'll be able to hear her on the recording.
That on the board.
He wrote those numbers in green on the board.
Those
I will,
He
I
did
will
right.
be able
He did
to
right.
listen and see what I hear.
I
on the
did
recording.
see.
The only thing is, she told me the question because I didn't have.
I'll go back. Listen, we all are like this that's opening the whole recording. Other people, the whole world.
Can I go up?
Ari's gonna go to the bathroom first and then you can go after that. All right, so that was 23, right? Correct?
I don't know what he did though.
Well, you guys need to understand this when we go through it, so don't just sit there and copy stuff down, because one of these might wind up being really pretty much your exact same.
You said it was. You said that something would be on the quiz, so don't kind of change it.
Some people, if they forget that, business, so you know it. Oh my God. They would like real, I'm not even joking. They would literally do that, you know. They would not, they'll fight you. Literally,
My grade may not say that, but
literally, maybe this is just a super hard class.
all the knowledge in here.
How does it fit? That's what I want to know. How does all that knowledge fit in that one little ring? Because I'm just saying. Wouldn't be me, but some people could take it.
Okay.
I vaguely remember that, but I need to.
Yeah, but-
that.
You know how I.
You gotta look for the answer. So you just want me to take the work, you're not getting it much.
No, I did. That's not.
Yeah, the correct answer. 5.75. Oh, okay, so you didn't show the step that you subtracted.
Yeah.
Stop.
Coming from, do I buy that? Perfect.
Right.
So she got that, so that's what it's good. She
Oh,
just
wait.
did.
Yeah, that's when we're getting to right now. Wait, was that?
That's true for.
Did you do 25 of them yet?
And
Silly.
Let's do it. I was just, I don't do it.
That problem.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Sorry, I was.
I just said.
What do you-
So, are you doing 25?
Oh, yeah. Well, I asked you.
Well, I don't allow it now. You're after somebody wants to watch movie.
He wants to.
Aria's out right now.
To wash his hands, go to the bathroom.
I'm just gonna run to the bathroom.
You can work that out with him, because he was supposed to be next.
I do 27.
Yes.
What number are you doing, Emily?
25.
Are you gonna restate?
So can you check if I'm right?
This one.
No.
Oh, I thought you pointed out, but yeah, you remember the question. Let's see.
You know, we're off.
Yes, I was right first.
Perfect. Nice. So I think what you're saying is accurate. You're saying is accurate. Just said something like, where's my student? Yeah. Okay, so that's why I was looking for that one. Actually, somebody, I was confusing one of them.
That is fine.
So,
Yeah.
so now everybody needs to watch this one, because this is important.
Oh, sorry.
Well, then just let me do it.
To draw attention to it for people that are tuned out. You can do the next one, that's correct.
Right answer.
So here's the deal. You're gonna get three different things typically when you do equations and you solve for a variable. Normally, you get the variable equals some number. And that's your answer, assuming you did everything right. That's the normal thing you get. But sometimes you're gonna work it down, you're gonna be, all the variables drop out. And you're like, whoa. I got a number on the left equals a number on the right, and they're not the same number. What did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong, not necessarily. I'd still go back and check my math. But you just were working on a problem that cannot be solved. There is no number that I can plug in here for X, and then here for it to be the same number everywhere X is. There's no number you can plug in and make the left side equal the right side. So we just say there's no solution. There are no real numbers that will work. Now with that in mind, Pepper, do 26 so we can cover that scenario. And then yep, that's what we need to do. So again, you need to understand that, because now we're definitely getting into stuff that could be on the quiz. There might be several equations on there since we're not putting a whole lot of different topics on it. But yeah, I don't, yeah, you don't. All right, well, good luck. Have a good weekend. 6 is another unusual situation. All right, one, if you can, you gotta work that out. He's kind of fast.
I am fast.
I'm faster. She's building for crying. I'll be.
Don't let women pull that on you, the crying thing. Don't let that work on you. Oh, trust me, hey, trust me. Well, a man that's had that happen. Eventually you become immune to it and they start crying like, you know, whatever. See, I knew that. That's between you two. I'm gonna write a pass. I'm gonna say random. Wait, oh, I don't even have a pass. I don't even have a pass. So you gotta take that out with Mr. Jackson.
Okay, just run out and I think that
He's already
you.
know.
He doesn't, he's just.
You don't know who I am.
He's never talked to me in my life.
You, right, oh, no, you can't both go, no, you can't both go, if he goes, you can't go.
See it? Do you not see it? Do you not see it if she walks out? Aaliyah, go. Aaliyah, go really quick.
Yeah, I'll just throw him under the bus, be like, they just walked out. I don't know.
Aaliyah, you can go.
Go,
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 and go.
You leave it.
Just if you're out there and they start to check, you just faint.
Hey, no,
Cry.
that's.
If you're female, and this is so sexy, I understand that, faint or cry and you're good.
If you just.
Guys, look at, and then there's a third one I'm not gonna bring up that works too.
Don't take away my.
I know, that's why I thought it was. So there's a third one that works too, which I'm not gonna get into in this one.
Cramps.
If I'm like walking down the hall and I start crying, they're just gonna be like, "What?"
It's okay, that actually be super nice. Oh, have a seat. Don't go back to class, just stay out here.
But I'm friends with like Beaver, so like I'll just stand next to Beaver.
How can you be friends with that guy? Holy.
He told me about the best adult beverage. Oh my, it's delicious. So delicious. If there's a movie where the guy goes into a bar and he orders a White Claw and he's like, yeah, fine. And somebody makes a joke that he's ordering a White Claw. And I like it.
What's the argument?
But it is not a White Claw that he told me.
What's the argument? Alright, whiskey sour.
No, it's this, it is. How did you? Because you. They claimed there was an emergency. What do you mean two students are out? Who's out? Who's out?
Hey, you missed a lot while you're gone. I'm not telling. but-
That is the other situation. So when you solve an equation out and you get the exact same thing on both sides. So if we kept doing this, we would actually get down to this. So there, it's a cut, there's different situations. You can see here that they're the same thing, right? That is the exact same thing as then. So if you understand right there that, okay, it doesn't matter what number I plug in, I got the same equation on both sides. So no matter what number I plug in, it's gonna work. Or if you keep solving it and get down to -10 equals -10, same concept. Same concept, any number, that means any number works, so that means infinite solutions. The other thing you'll see is this. I think they're more likely to probably put this on an ACT, SAT, all real numbers. Again, I don't know that for a fact, but I feel like that's more the way math has gone away from infinite solution. Numbers. Somebody else had said one, I think, right? All right, so I think we're on 27 now. You?
Y'all didn't even give me 3 minutes. Y'all was.
No, you were out.
Yeah, you were out for longer than.
You're out for.
I can tell you how long you're out, because I wrote the time.
Uh,
Yeah, 12 minutes.
So I've been back for at least like 5.
No. No.
See, that's the problem. You're confused about time and how it works. That's the whole problem, right?
So I'm in.
It's like you're in the quantum realm. For
Yes,
those of you that watch Marvel.
yes, Ant-Man,
That's Marvel?
Ant-Man. It is Ant-Man.
See, there you go. Quantum realm. You're confused about how time works.
Mr. Gill. Mr. Gill, you watch the Gill?
I haven't, on my computer, I haven't watched it.
It's good.
Yeah, I like the big Avenger movies. Those are my favorite, but I like Ant-Man. He's funny.
Like,
I just watched that last night. It's on FX. Actually, I watched it 2 nights in a row because they'll play it back-to-back days. Remember?
I love Disney Plus.
Yeah, I have Disney also, so every once in a while I'll watch an old one on that.
That's how I just feel like.
Endgame is my favorite. Probably. All,
I like Incredible Hulk.
all the Marvel movies. Endgame is probably. I like the Thor Ragnarok just because that's pretty fun.
Love and Thunder was pretty trash.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. Oh, that was not good. I was very disappointed in that.
I'm like, since when did the lady have cancer?
Oh, you hold on.
Yeah, that was random. The Spider-Mans were okay.
New one, I heard they're making a new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't like the end of the Spider-Verse one though. I didn't.
I
get
didn't
into
like,
the
I don't like
animated.
watching those.
Yeah, I don't like the animated.
Cliffhanger. Too much going on. It's like color.
Yeah, it was too much. The third. The Iron Mans were good, but they're older.
I like all.
Yeah, they're older now, but like it's weird how after over time, like. Started to like, I do like the newer stuff. Oh, I like the second one. That was a good one. The first one, I was like, oh, that's okay, but the second one, I really liked. I didn't realize he had died. Like the actual actor, I didn't realize he had died.
Yeah, he died. That's what they scared the whole script because
Yeah, I know. And the way that it was going, I'm like, well, that's weird to not have him in it.
he was alive.
And then I'm like, okay, it's really weird the way just the whole vibe is. So I looked it up while I was watching the movie and I'm like, those are some of my favorites for sure.
I was hoping they was gonna do a plot twist like kill one and survive or something.
I feel like there should be a. Oh, I didn't love. I mean, it was good. I've watched it many times. Like if you can't tell them, I did watch it several times. But the Captain Marvel movie.
I did only watch that once. I can only watch it once.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite, but I thought it was okay. I actually liked the Skrull character. That's what I liked.
You watch Shang-Chi.
Which one is that?
Shang-Chi. That's what
The Rings?
The 10 Rings.
10 Rings. Yeah, I saw that one. I've seen that a few times. That was
I
good.
like a lot. That was so good. I watched it back to back.
What do you think? I bet it's right
What that is?
because it's an odd one, so I'll bet it's right. So follow along with that. If you have questions, I'm not gonna go over it unless you got a question. So if you aren't getting the answers, and if you don't know where your math is going wrong, you need to ask. I'm assuming you're getting them and we're working them out.
Oh, I ain't done.
So I'll leave it up there for a minute. This is a negative, if you can't see it, negative 4.5 from subtracting the 7.5. We need to get into some of the more difficult ones. That's what we need to start getting. Girls, I mean.
Yeah.
Is there somebody else? See what? There you go.
Where is she? She's arriving back.
Exactly. But just like I was about.
Let's see. Well, we have documented your account.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip 28. We need to get into some. Okay, so now start at 29. You should be able to do some of those. Probably not as many of those as on the other ones, but speak of the devil. Let's see. Documented. They were just saying you had been out for a long time. I was like, I don't think she's been out that long.
I was gone for like,
Yeah, she was gone for like 4 minutes.
yeah, come on. Well,
Let's see. You are.
Yeah.
You are leaving at 1:11. Look how cool it is. You should make a wish.
I pushed a pass.
Make a wish. It's 11:11.
I wish that we didn't have that.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1:11. Never mind. It's not gonna come true. It's gotta be 11:11. I did write 11:11 on her pass. We'll see that. All right, so we're working on the next section when you're dealing with fractions and combining. I'm sorry, coming up with a common denominator and then combining. Or then you can solve. I know, right? These are significantly more difficult. And then you will have several problems from this set. Starting at 29. We're gonna go over a bunch of these also, because now we're into what I consider to be the level you should be at. We're gonna do a whole bunch of, oh no. I want you to try, because again, what's the first thing you need to do? That's the second. It's the first thing you need to do. Deny. Well, no, when we have any two fractions, variables or not, what do you need to combine fractions? Common denominator. So you should be able to come up with it. Those, the denominators are just numbers in that one, so you should definitely be able to come up with that part, and then we'll talk about how to solve. So actually, you should be able to. I mean, 30 does get a little bit tougher pretty fast, but I feel like we can maybe make a little bit of progress on it, so let's try to do 29 and 30, or at least as much as you can on it. That's what we're trying to do. Try to do as many as you can in the whole. Okay. How do you know? Mm-hmm.
No, because it was an easy one. I didn't know what.
That was with 130. Yeah, which one did you just self-explain? Oh, yeah. Some people are just looking like they're not.
You do what I thought.
Just get the common denominator. Yeah, there you go. So when you get. Oh, you gotta get over that, girl. One day, that's still, that's even worse, because they're paying you, they expect you to do something for nice and spending all the time. I didn't say it. Say that we do this. Yeah. Perfect, so what do you do to combine a fraction? So how would you combine, once you've got so let's take 1/4 and 1/2. You change the 1/2 to 2/4, right, which is the part you've already done. Then what do you do to combine 1/4 and 2/4? 1/4 and 2/4. Which part?
2/4.
2/4. What part do we not change? What part do we not change? We wouldn't change the denominators, that just flows through, and then we just take the numerators and do the math. with the numerators. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do a bunch of these. We've moved on to 29. Ms. Campbell. How's that? Oh, and that, while we are doing well, while we are doing.
He's doing math on his phone. I accept over here.
Brooklyn was doing math.
No, after. I finished it,
Cheater.
Oh, already it's finished.
I did not say
Yeah.
when you did it, I just said she was using phone.
It's not cheating if it's not for great.
Again, you know how I grade you, you can cheat all you want on the practice, but this one. You wanna check it with photo math, if you, I don't care if you use photo math to show you how to do it, but you know how to do it.
Now.
Up. It's 1/7. Up.
You're doing it right.
Oh, Edgar.
Gets better. Pretty please.
Think you say, your cap.
Yes.
I believe you're up. Exactly, I do that sometimes. Well. Missing. Well, why is it June? I love when I ask a question, math. Subtract, add, divide, square. Butterfly, and you guys just start throwing out math terms until hopefully you hit on something. So let's talk about why you did that. And the funny thing is that works all the way until you get to this. So we did this for a reason. What do we need? Well, we need a common denominator, which you don't have. You
Yeah.
lost the denominator.
Yeah.
But you need a denominator back.
Okay.
So what's the denominator part? You have these two numbers, right? You need.
Ready, go down this front truck.
What's the common denominator? You use the two numbers. So those both are fractions. So you need to put both of those over 24. Then you gotta figure out the next step. I'm sure Logan would be happy to help. All right, why don't we go ahead, well, let me answer a question. Watch a little bit of TikTok with it. I do 20 something. Only there were an easier way to do that.
But like,
Even
I
though
can
it
also.
looks like.
Well, that's. No, that's not. Fine. Then I don't know what to do.
Let me ask you this. Remember back in only school stalling.
Oh, I think that's okay.
No, it's something, I use phone map and when you have to.
But it's like. What if I lose?
How would you solve that?
So what photo match are you
You know, you can look at it. How would you actually go through the algebra solve?
That makes sense.
That's the only number I'm able to go into them.
Why would you like that? What is that thing right there?
Yeah.
It's the butterfly.
It is the butterfly. It's a proportion.
I'm gonna show you
So what the butterfly means? I don't know.
So what would be the problem with this?
So the last step will sometimes be that first wall. So you guys just go multiply, divide, simplify, rational, irrational.
Don't forget about butterfly. A butterfly was an
You already
answer.
said butterfly. Yeah, they already said
That
that.
was, it's the same word. 31?
That makes sense.
There.
Where'd you get a set?
I'm doing a new problem.
Okay.
So again, now it won't come out where you can just say two numbers together. Still probably figure the answer out, but. What would you do to that?
Don't know what happened.
You still not on?
No, just like go home. No one will have to know. No one will have to know.
So that, this is the starting point. No, we can't cancel because again, these are not, this is not a fact, I would add. The whole, cancel.
I can't just like negative 3%.
No, if you don't have common denominators, this would need some kind of, and even then you can't find it. Anytime you have plus in between things, you can't put word.
I'm talking about like this one, 3x and with this one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though.
Oh.
You're trying, this is not being, like, these are not backwards. The only time you can cancel, everything's being multiplied together. There's only multiplication backwards. There's not, so it's not a.
It's basically.
Well, there's another way I'm gonna do it in a second. So why don't, if you want to move or not, that's the first step. I think there's another step you can do. Did you already combine numerators on the left?
Yeah, I got
You did on the left? All right, then just go ahead and move to the next one. I'll show you. That's one. Wait. I'm about to do, is that the 8 and the 3 one?
Yeah.
I'm about to.
Keeping us all good things.
I don't remember if anybody else was waiting. I don't think anybody was waiting. Tell you what, let me do, I do want to do this one because now we're getting into the problems where it's a little tougher and then as soon as I finish, just remind me. I keep it. That's what we're about to do. So we're doing 29 right now. Even though I feel like you guys should be able to do.
My socks are.
I stranger things. I got no socks.
Logan has no socks on.
I got dragon next.
I can't do that. Like no socks freaks me out.
Yeah, I got to tell you that.
All right, so everybody, 29. I can guarantee you better be able to do something like 29. Blah, blah, blah. This is 20. And like I said, I can guarantee you, you'll need to be able to do something like this. Oh, and in life,
No,
on the test and in life.
Who gonna do that in life?
Well, the test is part of life.
Cybersecurity, you don't need that.
All right. All right. So I think a lot of you, I didn't really actually, well, although I meant to come visit somebody back on the 20th, get around to there, and I just want to really see if this has happened. So what do we need? Anytime you have two fractions and you're adding or subtracting them, we need that's your first step. Show me at least know that. Common denominator. And you should be able to do a common denominator. How do I do a common denominator?
Multiply 3/8 by 3/3.
So
And then
the true mathematical way, and we did this before, I can multiply any number I want, and this is just a number. That's just a number. We don't know what it is. That's just a number. We don't know what it is, but they're just numbers. We just don't know a part of it, so we can't figure out exactly what it is. I can multiply any number I want by 1, and I still have the same number. So what we're doing is we're trying to get common denominators, which means we're going to wind up multiplying this number by 1, but we're going to make it in the form of 3/3. A lot of you do this cross multiplying thing, try to figure it out, but that's just a shortcut. I'm telling you what you need to understand. So this one, I'm going to do the same thing, multiply by 1, but my 1 is going to be in the version of 8/8.
Yeah.
Now, when I do that, 3 times 8 becomes my 24. Yelling at me. 3 times 8 becomes my 24. So now I have my common denominator. And I don't need to do so. Here's the next piece, and I haven't really gone over this. Lord, I just said before. So if I'm multiplying by 1, I don't need to do that over here. So don't get confused between like, if I do math on one side, I got to do it to the other side. That's not what we're doing. We're just multiplying by 1. That doesn't change anything. So I don't need to come over here and do anything over here. So I get 3 times 3x is 9x over 24. Subtract, what's that? 32x over 24 equals 4. So there's my first step. And a lot of you had that. I saw quite a few people that either had that or pretty close to that. Now you just think, okay, how do I combine a fraction once I have like denominator? So, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we'll get to that. So now what do I do to combine fractions? Yeah, we don't do anything with the denominator, right? We just kind of say, okay, well, my denominator is going to still be 24. I just need to combine the two numerators, 9x subtract 32x. What is that? Negative 23x equals 4. Now what do I do? There's actually a couple different ways. I'm going to tell you my favorite one because you can use it in a whole bunch of problems. What do we do now? We want to get x by itself. That's what solving means. Get x by itself. Fine.
That's 21. That is, the 20. It would change for the 23, whatever the 20. I wrote.
Confusing.
That was really confusing. What you just said. I think you actually understand how to solve it from there, but the way you explained it, do not go into teaching. So I'm just saying. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you two ways, but I'm gonna show you one way, the way that I think is the most intuitive. You need to get X by itself, right? You have a denominator, so we'd consider that kind of like the thing farthest from the X. Remember, start farther from the X. A lot of you probably have heard that. Well, if I'm dividing by 24 and I want to get rid of it, what do? Opposite. I multiply by 24. So I could just think of it as, well, I'm going to multiply this side by 24. Now, whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. So you multiply by 24. Then you have negative 23x equals whatever that is, 96. So you'd say, okay, well, if I have negative 23x equals 96, I need to divide by negative 23 to get rid of the negative 23. Well, that means I need to take the 96 and divide it by negative 23. I'm sure in your head it sounded just like that. I know. I'll trust me. I know. Now, here's the way I'm going to show you. That's not the way I would do it. That's a proportion, what we just had. Because I can make 4 into 4 over 1. Right? And this is the way you're going to do a lot of the problems in this section. And even though it wouldn't pop into your head initially that they're proportions, they are. And if you can think about that as your first option or one of your first options, it's going to save you a lot of time. And it's also just going to make it, I think, more intuitive to do. So how do you solve a proportion? Do you understand what I did to set this up? Because you're looking like you don't even understand this one.
I did this like an entirely different way. I don't know what you're doing. I got the right answer.
How'd you do it? Did you get to this?
In a way.
Okay, I'll come look at yours later. So if you got the right answer, I'll check it to make sure that the logic makes sense. Because it is possible sometimes you just sort of figure things out and it doesn't work for every problem. So how do you solve a proportion? You need to know this.
Side by a reciprocal.
That was super fancy. We're gonna go with a different, easier to remember version, but yeah, if you get that. No, but it's one of those type of little memorization things.
If you could keep train if you get the right answer.
And then maybe that might have been lessons.
You probably were.
So what's the thing you guys keep saying? I heard it like 4 times earlier and we were making fun of it over in this corner. There you go. This is when you can use butterfly. Absolutely. So the butterfly method means it is sort of, but the only difference between cross multiplying is you're going to set them equal. 24 times 4. And then you have to set it equal to negative 23x times 1. And now you get to the point where you say, okay, well, I know that I just need to, if this is being multiplied, I just need to get rid of the 23 by dividing.
That's 4.1.
You can change it to a decimal or leave it as fraction of it.
So what the hell was the book talking about? Say 22.
23 is on the bottom. Oh, well, they left it as a fraction. 23 is the denomination. I'll come look at yours later.
My way seems a lot easier.
You got to do all that for that one problem.
I mean, you'd have to get a common denominator.
So final answer is 96 over negative 23. Right.
And they multiplied like.
Final answer is negative 96.
We haven't gone over that. Yeah. I totally forgot.
So
Here, I totally forgot. What did anybody have Miss Bingler for math? Because she does it a different way. Did you do it? How did you do it? Did you do it that way?
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about? So Miss Bingler likes to teach that you get rid of any denominators. So she likes to tell you, anybody have any questions? I'm about to erase this bottom part. Yeah, now that I'm done with them. And as I told you, I would forget, I did forget. I'm probably gonna spell it wrong, but they won't, they don't check spelling on them. All right, so this works in a lot of the problems also in this section that we're working on. When you have fractions, especially if you have some terms that have a denominator and some terms that don't, this is a good method. Let me get rid of what we just did down here. So Miss Bingler says, just get rid of the denominator. Oh my God. Shh. Ellen.
Whoa, what
She says, no, ignore that. Because see, this is what happens when you do stuff like that. You can get rid of denominators by still coming up with a common, we're really just coming up with a common denominator. Still the same thing, but instead of converting these, like in making it a fraction, we're just gonna multiply all the way through. We're gonna say, let's multiply by that common denominator. Yeah, this is what she taught, and probably I'm sure other teachers teach it. So if I do it on one side of the equation, I gotta do it on the other side. I don't know why I wrote 23. So now we wind up getting to the same exact spot. I said 24 times this term. Well, 8 goes into 24 3 times, then 3 times that gives me 9x. But the 8 is gone. Now I don't, this may have been what you did actually earlier. This is the way maybe you did. That's why you didn't have a fraction. But you didn't multiply this by the 24, but you didn't. Yeah. So again, 3 goes into 24 8. 8 times that is 32. So you get that, and now you just solve that out like you would have. So that's the way she teaches. I'm glad I went over and looked, because that's the way I showed that yesterday also. I don't care which way you do it.
Basically, like,
I think you're doing the same thing. You're just skipping a step or something.
That's what Miss Louis did.
You got the 9x subtract 32x is 96.
Where am I?
I
Oh.
did 24 times 2x, and that was 72x, divide that by 8. 24 times 4x.
Yeah, it's right here, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Saying
You're distributing the 24 and saying 24 times the first term, 24 times the second term, and then 24 times the last. Yeah, you're doing the same exact thing. I wrote it with the parentheses, and you're just doing distributive property when you do what you did in steps. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we can do, I feel like you guys need to be doing more of these instead of me. So I'm not gonna do 31, but I'm gonna tell you right now, 31 is a proportion. It doesn't matter that you have two things in the like, it's just a fraction on the left. That's all it is. Actually, I can show it to you. I'm not gonna do it, but 30. So everybody look real quick. So this will be gone in seconds here. So that's 31. Oh, because she smelled it. I've heard actually that how other students have said that they confronted them when it was somebody else.
Yeah, you.
So again, you need to understand when you can do that cross, multiply, butterfly, whatever you want to call it, anytime it's a proportion, that's a proportion. Doesn't matter that these have two terms in it. It's a fraction. There's only one division line. That means it's a fraction. Good Lord, ladies, it's too much. Too much. And you always say that like you mean it, but you don't mean it when you keep doing it.
He's not doing it.
Words don't mean anything, actions do. And your actions are something.
Preach.
5x minus 4 times.
So we could say 2 times 5x plus 4. 3 times 5x subtract 4. And then whatever you get within the wings, you set those equal to each other. And now it's just an equation. So
Oh, wait, so like.
that say again, you look at it and you think, oh my goodness, I must have to do some kind of common denominator thing.
That's exactly what I was looking
You don't. I know that's one that looks a lot harder than it is. It's not, anytime you, again, the key is there's only one division line, which means it's really just one fraction.
for. Like 15x minus 12.
And I think there's others like that. Yeah, the next one, 32, same thing, just like that. Number 33 is not just like that, but you can get it to where it's just like that. Because you already have an X term that has the same denominator, so you can move one of those to the other side and move the numbers to the other side. Can't wait to see how many problems Cal will. I don't think you've touched pen and paper. You've been on that nonstop. Like, I don't know who's gonna come crying to me in 2 weeks. I'm gonna be like. And. Well, he asked me for something. I said, that's not.
I got x equals 4.
Yes.
I got x equals 4.
For which one?
For 30.
It's in the back of the book. I'm saying. I don't know the answer.
It is 3. I don't feel like it.
Yeah. It's like.
Oh.
They're sideways.
Yeah, no, country clubs like the few like, where they get OCC, it's very good. Oh, gosh, then never mind, then never.
Negative 3x over 10. How do it takes a while. All right. Negatives. I got it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, okay. Negative 6x negative.
Minus 12. Just right here. Hold on. 4x times on.
And then you just.
I just go in. I need 5, 10 extra both sides. Minus 12. That even solve for instance. Plus 12. Plus 12.
Great.
Right. So,
I can't wait until next.
Still.
Good, like 17.
Yeah, it's better though. I've done it.
You don't want to get one that's perfect. So you don't want to be what is, how you here. You know, your computer is weird and it's so again, you might be this right.
So I can't remember if I did or not.
So this is what you're saying. When you're.
It's not.
Definitely.
Oh, you're saying.
I just test them wrong. It's gonna be so easy. Hey, look, I swear to God, you spelled this test wrong.
No.
There's that.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You've got her express. Right.
Look on your shoe.
They're so.
And then you can cancel that.
It's slow.
You don't.
The negative.
Right.
It might work out. I don't follow the logic on it. Get that on one right. On the right, we did three. That's the only thing we're gonna do. But it might work out. I mean, again, if your logic makes sense, I'm fine with that, but not the way I just think to be. First 31. All right, here it goes. X. So I get a negative 5. See if you can work your way again. All right, then yeah. So you would have divided by -3 and that's what you're doing maybe. So again, I don't really follow the logic, but I'd be fine if you showed enough work for me to say, okay, well, somehow. It's gonna work. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you get, if I can follow it all the way to the end, and you just have a different ending solution. And I be fine.
Do you think that person?
I'm really not laughing. The one place.
No, but like. No, if he already did it, like he did those things, or sins.
Yeah, so that we.
Why would I like, why would I think
So.
I know you're great. I'm not worried about it.
If he died.
You'll get it when you get it. And then you'll get it.
I know. They just like call me out.
Seventeen.
Oh, I'm not. It's like one problem. I know, that's what I was just saying earlier.
So you have to keep the common denominator. You don't know.
This is one fraction. That's why we can do butterfly. That's two fractions. We can't do it now. Yeah, actually.
Well, I don't like remember if I did.
Oh, you better put everything in. He's done type. That sounds.
All right, so we are not even close to doing as many problems as I did yesterday, just so you know, and they're all gonna be on there regardless, so. So let's skip forward. Look at number 36. So again, this is one you would probably freak out on. I'm telling you right now, it's not that bad. But look at number 36. So this is the kind of stuff that just comes from doing a lot of problems to think in this way when you're solving. I have one, and again, I'm probably not going to do it all the way out, but I'll just give you what the first thought you need to have in order to do something like this one. I have that, right? What's your first thought? $36. Well, like when you see this, what's the first thing you say? Because we have two fractions. Can't do butterfly because this is not one fraction on the left. Or at least you can't do it yet. That's what I think a lot of people might think. Oh my God.
Yeah, they talk.
Really is. You're talking. At least you just sit on your phone and you know, they just talk to you. Right? Do that in about looking too. Yeah, I do that. And I don't even have brothers or sisters or anything. No, that's on my own. So I'm an only child. So it explains a lot. So I would think maybe initially, and this, the only reason this really works in this one is because of the 0, because if there was a number here, I wouldn't do it. I would think maybe common denominators, but here's the thing. I could get rid of this fractions on the left. I could just say, well, I'm just going to subtract 2 over x subtract 5. I'm just getting rid of it. Well, luckily I have a 0 over here, so I don't need to combine it with anything because it wouldn't have worked if I did. So I'm going to say over here, subtract 2 over x subtract 5. Now I have 1 over x, which is just one fraction. Over here, I guess I would probably keep the negative with the 2. It's gotta be with one of them, and it's much easier if it's on the two. Now I have one fraction on the left, one fraction on the right. Now I can do the butterfly. Well, it doesn't work for everything. So if there was a number over here, then I still can't combine them and I still have two fractions. Yeah. So we're gonna do some other ones. So sometimes you have to come up with a common denominator. You just gotta figure out how to do it. Well, I didn't finish solving. I know you got to do now you do butterfly with that. So you can copy it down and finish it. Oh, actually, no, we could do it with 35. Everybody look at 35. Again, if we can get it to one fraction on the right, one fraction on the left, it's easy from there. So what can I get rid of on the right? I can't get rid of the variable part, but yeah, subtract the 2 on the right, subtract it on the left. Now you're down to one number on the left, but you can think of that one fraction on the left and one fraction on the right. So you can do butterfly again on that one. So now let's find one that you can't do that on. So now first of all, look at number 37, because that's another easy one. We have common denominators already for the first two terms, so we can combine those already. We don't need to do anything. Then we can get rid of the positive 2. So then you'd be left with one fraction on the left, one fraction on the right. And you do butterfly. I told you butterfly was going to happen a lot on all of these. So really 38 is like the first one that we get to where we got to sort of figure some stuff out. And we have to come up with a common denominator. So what's your common denominator when you have fractions like that? What do we have to be able to do? How do we get the common denominator between the 3 and the 8? When there's a problem a lot like it was like way back, 29. Just multiply them together, right? That's what you wind up doing on those. And you don't even really have to multiply them out. So what is it? 38, is that what I was talking about? 7 over 2x plus 1. Hold on just a second. So there's the problem. Getting a common denominator with variable expressions is typically going to mean you have to multiply them together. So and again, remember, I'm always multiplying by a version of 1. That's I keep hammering that concept, because when you get into problems like this, wait, what? Wait, is that me? Or is that still to you two talking to each other over the So I need to multiply this number, this term, this expression times that. But it needs to be a version of 1 when I do it. 2x subtract 1 over 2x subtract 1. So now I'll get a common, and you could also do the Miss Bingler thing if you had Miss Bingler, but you'd have to understand that you're multiplying by like a bigger polynomial to get rid of these and how it's kind of the same thing. This makes more sense to me, but you can convert that to what she does. I then need to, it does look like a Z, I thought that, but I didn't put the little cross between it, so that's how you do it. So now it's a 2. There are both 2s. That's a 2 as well. Okay. There. So now, again, I can multiply this by any version of 1 that I want. So I'm going to do it by 2x plus 1 over 2x plus 1. So now I multiply this by that. And then the 4 just stays over there. I don't have to do anything on the right side. So now you have common denominators. You'd have to multiply the 7 through there, the 8 through there, combine the top. This would be your denominator. You'd have that combined on top. Then you finally cross multiply. That's all. That one's a lot. We'll see how if I've got already put a bunch of problems on the quiz from other sections, probably not. If I feel like I can easily fit one more in, I might take them. Because that will tell me for sure whether or not somebody's getting it. If they
Yeah, but we came to a point where you just. You, I think, right around 27-ish. You got where you're at.
It's all like.
I know, but again, you were bragging about your big brain earlier, and then your big brain kind of just shut down. You did. You did.
That's next.
You're denying those. Actually, I don't really have anything. I got, somebody came in, 2 or 3 people came in, and we couldn't find anything.
I was gonna flip it, but I didn't think her
Yeah.
last twelve. I tried.
So your quiz will be on Wednesday. We'll do a new lesson first. So it's not a practice day. So you need to practice on the weekend. We'll do a new lesson and then, which will not be on the quiz, and then the quiz will be the second half of class. So you might have 5 or 10 minutes to look stuff over really quick, but doing equations isn't really something you don't remember. You just know it or you don't.
What are you gonna do?
And you're coming in for tutoring on Tuesday, and then taking the quiz on Wednesday.
Me personally, I did my research. I did good.
Great at that, yeah.
I'm not
Okay,
gonna.
mine would be good because when I first saw it, I was like,
See, I'm not gonna need it.
yeah, I practiced it. Then when I looked at it, I was like, so looking.
You answered all of them.
Yeah,
So that's good sign. Sometimes I get papers back with 2 or 3 just completely blank.
I tried. That's all that matters. Completion.
It's not, see, you guys always want to say it. I would like to see, like, I would like to see you go into your employer and go, and you turn this thing in there like, this is horrible, this is good, but I tried. That's all that matters. See how your employer feels about that. See how your employer says it. Whoa, 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 who's out there? Uh-huh.
It's.
Like we're doing the same thing we just did.
So bad.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost.
I know, but I feel like the same thing I did in algebra.
Yeah, we haven't even really gotten down.
Did you take algebra in 7th grade? Like bottom.
Geometry.
So Ksenia, how you doing on all that stuff? Can't believe I leave you alone. I know you,
Good, actually, I just done that.
you get some of that solving stuff. All right, you better.